Today, I'm gonna give you the ultimate guide for buying a new construction home in 2022. This video will teach you everything that you need to know before you get started. By the end of this video, you'll know everything and more because I built 5 homes, and I hate to admit it, but I made a monstrous mistake when I built my first home, which I'll explain later in this video. One mistake though could end up wasting a lot of time and a lot of your hard-earned money. Lucky for you, I've been in this game for over 18 years, and I've personally guided more than 500 people through the new home construction process. Make sure you stay to the end for the final piece of the puzzle because it will give you a major advantage over most others who blindly build a home. Grab a notepad and let's get to it.
I'm listening.
Sun Tzu famously said, "Every battle is won before it's fought." I'm not saying you're going to be in a battle with a home builder, but I am also not saying that you're not going to be in a battle with a home builder. I'm going to arm you with all the information that you will need to buy a home from a home builder. A lot has changed in the home building industry over the last few years. For example, some home builders will not allow you to build a home from scratch anymore. Instead, they offer spec homes, also known as quick move-in homes. They usually list these homes for sale when the framing has started. They do this for several reasons. Number 1, so they can control their cost. Number 2, to shorten the wait time for buyers. Number 3, it saves them time. And number 4, to keep you out of their way. Builders do not like their clients pointing out all their mistakes throughout the home build process. I also want to clarify that at certain points, it may seem like I'm defending the home builder. I assure you, that is not the case. I'm simply telling you how it is. Step 1, get pre-approved before you start looking at homes. After speaking with a lender, you'll know how much home you can afford and what your monthly payment will be. Skip this step, and there's a good chance you'll suffer from major disappointment. One of the biggest blunders buyers make is to look at homes outside of their price range and then having to purchase a smaller home or a house in a less desirable location. The disappointment can be hard to bear and is a huge waste of your precious time. It's also wise not to spend every dime that the lender qualifies you for, especially in a market where mortgage rates and the cost to build could easily increase while your home is under construction. Last year, when the cost of construction skyrocketed, a lot of builders went back to the buyers and demanded that they pay more for the house or the contract would be canceled. And this recent spike in mortgage rates means that a lot of people no longer qualify for the house they started building several months ago. Leave some wiggle room to protect yourself from these or other unfortunate events. It's crucial that you set a budget before you meet with the builder. This is the maximum price that you'll pay for the home to stay within your comfort zone. Then be determined to not allow all the many wonderful options and upgrades to violate your decision. Should you take this massive risk, building a home couldn't have been the biggest financial mistake that you ever make. As Nike wouldn't say, just don't do it. The other advantage of getting pre-approved is that the lender may give you advice on things that you can do to lower your monthly mortgage payment. This would be things like improving your credit score, paying something off, saving a little more money, and etc. They can also explain the advantages of the different types of loans offered. And who knows, you may qualify for a grant or a zero down loan. Number 2, hire a professional real estate agent to look out for your best interest. When you visit the model home, you'll be greeted by a real estate agent who will gladly help you buy a home. The problem in this scenario is that that individual has been hired by the home builder to represent them, not you. If there's a problem, the model home agent is obligated to side with the builder. I recommend that you hire a real estate agent who has a firm understanding of the new home construction industry. If 2021 taught us anything, is that you need a realtor on your side to protect you from the builder. I'm not saying all builders are bad, but some aren't good. And mistakes are made all the time. Usually the builder will fix them, but having a second set of eyes that know what to look for can be priceless. And believe it or not, you can get professional representation, someone looking out for your best interest for free. It's true, the builder will pay your agent, but remember, your realtor must be with you on the first visit. So hire a professional ahead of time. An experienced agent will know when the builder is in the wrong and know how to resolve the issue. They'll also understand and know how to explain to you why the builder may not be obligated to do something. Pro tip, beware of builders that discourage the use of a buyer's agent. They might have a great excuse as to why you don't need professional representation, but this is a monster red flag. Number 3, zero in on a location. You probably already know the general location where you'd like to live, but the price of homes can vary significantly even within just a few miles. So you want to have a solid understanding of how the prices differ from one location to another. If the starting price is pushing your budget, you may need to extend your search radius. A few years ago, my wife and I were looking to build a house in a specific area. The cheapest and least desirable half-acre home sites in this location were $250,000. Because I was pushing our budget, we expanded our search radius, finding an incredible 2-acre home site for only $115,000. By moving a little further away, we were able to get 4 times the land for less than half the price. This huge difference allowed us to build our dream home. How cool is that? Number 4, select a good home builder. Choosing the wrong home builder can be an enormous mistake. It's something I'll never forget. When I built my first home, I didn't know anything about buying a house from a home builder. And we likely chose the worst builder in Utah. The quality of construction was subpar. And the model home agent forgot to mention that they don't include many of the features that came standard with most home builders. And he never returned our calls, only reaching out to us when the home was nearing completion to give us our closing instructions. So he could get paid. I didn't realize how bad it was until a few years later when I started working for a home builder. It inspired me to focus my career on helping people through the home build process. Building a house should be fun, and I don't want you to feel the way that I did. So before you write a contract, research and compare the builders to one another. Start by reading online reviews. You may also want to walk through some of the communities where several people have already moved in. Ask the residents for their honest opinion. This is not always true, but in general, large national builders are harder to work with. They can be inflexible and pretty much do whatever they want. They also seem to care more about their investors on Wall Street than those who chose to build a home with them. Small local builders are usually great, but riskier as they often struggle with market shifts. For the most part, I recommend building with a mid-size to large local builder. They seem to care more about those who are building in their communities. They're also big enough to get good deals on land, labor, and materials. That means they can offer great pricing. At this point, you should have eliminated several builders, leaving you with a short list of the best. Number 5, find a home in your price range. Start by making a list of your wants and needs. For instance, you might need 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a home office. Your wants might include a gourmet kitchen, a 3-car garage, fireplace, and things of this nature. Then look at the floor plans of the houses in your price range. But know this, you can't judge a builder by their price sheet only. Some include a lot of incredible features, while others offer the bare bones, like the first builder that I worked with. The first builder that I worked for didn't include an air conditioning unit, a garage door opener, towel racks, ceiling lights in most rooms, and things of this nature. And they were cookie cutter. This builder's starting price was consistently $10,000 to $15,000 cheaper than the competition. But to add the features that most builders already included could easily cost you more than $20,000. Moral of the story, often the cheapest builder is the cheapest builder. So when you're gathering pricing from home builders, also grab an included features list and a community map showing the pricing for each available home site. More on all this later. Keep in mind, a bigger, more expensive home will give you less flexibility to add upgrades. Depending on your list of wants and needs, you should plan to add 10 to 20% of the home's base price in upgrades. Going over budget should not be considered. It would be smarter to build a smaller house or select a less expensive location. It's okay if the house isn't as big as you hoped or further from where you're hoping to live. You can always move up to a bigger home or to a better location as you build equity and as your pay increases. As I mentioned earlier, I built 5 times. My first house was tiny, cheaply built, and much further from where I wanted to live. Less than 10 years later, my beautiful wife and I built our dream home on 2 acres in a location that we love. And this leads me to number 6, find the best floor plan. Once you've found a few homes in your price range that check most or all the boxes on your needs list, see if the builder or the builders have model homes of those plans that you're considering. It's a huge benefit to be able to walk through those homes. If not, other people might be building that same floor plan and there might be a home near completion. This can really help you settle on the best floor plan. It is possible that the builder won't have a version of the home that you want to build available for you to see. It's unfortunate, but a lot of people have built without first walking through the actual house. If you find a great floor plan, but you'd like to make a few structural changes, some builders will allow you to customize the layout. If so, be prepared to pay more. But in a hot market, most builders will not allow you to make custom changes. Number 7, choose a home site. Often, different home sites in the community vary significantly in size or benefits. The better the home site is, the more you'll pay. They call this a lot premium. It shouldn't come as a surprise that the builder would charge extra for a bigger or better home site. But you might be shocked at how much more the various builders charge for a similar home site. The cost can vary by a few $1,000s to tens of thousands of dollars. But most builders do include the cost of the basic home site in the base price of the home. So you might be able to choose one of the smaller home sites and only pay a few $1,000s more, if anything at all. But if you want a bigger home site, views, a cul-de-sac, or really anything that makes that home site better, you're almost always going to pay more. At this point, you should know which builders offer the best value. This is usually a good indicator of all-around value, but there's still one more thing to consider. Number 8, add up your costs for upgrades. Most builders have model homes that you can tour to get a feel for the home builder's quality. But buyer beware. Model homes are usually highly upgraded and professionally staged, sometimes with more than $100,000 in furniture and decor. Your home will not come standard with all the wonderful things that you see in the model home. It might seem dishonest or that the builder's trying to deceive you, and there might be some truth to that, but it's more likely that they're trying to put their best foot forward to show you what they can do. To gain a better understanding of what comes standard, ask the model home agent to walk through the home and point out what's included and what's an upgrade. If you see an upgrade that you like, ask the salesperson what it would cost to add that feature. Unfortunately, builders do not hand out a price sheet for upgrades. This is not a deception tactic. Pricing for upgrades frequently changes, and it would be a nightmare to keep it up to date. Adding confusion to the process, builders will ask you to write a contract and put down a non-refundable deposit before adding your design center upgrades. It wouldn't be so bad if you knew the pricing ahead of time, but because pricing could change between the time that you write a contract and the time that you visit the design center, the builder will not give you a price sheet, but they should be able to give you a decent guesstimate. Pro tip, you'll want to add upgrades that will be hard or near impossible to add later. This would be things like a 3-car garage or 9-foot ceilings. Really, most structural items, lighting and plumbing fixtures are easy to change out later. It's also fairly easy to paint. Okay, if you feel good about the location, the floor plan, the home site, and how much the home should cost you, it's time to, number 9, write a contract. Most builders do not use the normal real estate purchase contract because you came to them, and because the builder has most of the liability, they make the rules. In most situations, everything goes just fine, but you might want to read through the contract before signing because most builders' contracts offer very little protection for the buyer. For instance, the builder can lengthen the build time, increase the price, or even cancel the contract should there be a natural disaster or some other unforeseen event like COVID or an unexpected increase in building costs. Usually, the builder will give you the option to pay the higher price, but if you refuse, your contract will be canceled and your deposits will be returned. Speaking of deposits, I already mentioned that most builders will require earnest money at time of contract, but you'll also be expected to leave a construction deposit, also known as an options deposit, when you sign off on your selections. This can be anywhere from a few $1,000s up to 50% of the cost of your upgrades. Most builders will require that you get pre-approved with their preferred lender, even if you've already been pre-approved with an outside lender. And just so you know, they can't force you to use any specific lender, but they will try to entice you to use their trusted lender by paying some of your closing costs, or giving a design center credit, or even a predetermined upgrade like an air conditioning unit or granite countertops. Builders offer these incentives because it's easier to keep tabs on you, and preferred lenders almost always close on time. Side note, when building with a track home builder, you don't need to get a construction loan like you do when building a custom home. And this is probably a good time to mention that builders will not give you a closing date until the home is about 30 to 45 days from completion. There are simply too many variables for builders to accurately determine when the home will be completed. But you better believe in most situations, the builder will complete the home as quickly as possible because they have a lot of money on the line and they don't get paid until you close on the home. Number 10, you'll want to gain an understanding of the home build process. Building a house can be confusing and it's often overwhelming. When people get upset, it's usually because they have an unrealistic expectation of the home build process. In a normal market, homes can be built in about 4 months, but due to labor and material shortages, it's often taking much longer. So you should be prepared for delays. It's also important to understand builders have rules that are often ignored but should be followed. For instance, builders do not want you on the home site or in the home while it's under construction. This might be hard for some of you to understand, but it's not your home until you close. For liability reasons, you are not allowed to walk through the home without a builder's representative. Technically, walking through the house without permission is trespassing. To allow you to see the house at critical stages, most builders will schedule a few different meetings. First, they'll hold a pre-construction meeting. This is usually held before they dig the hole for your home. Second is the four-way or the pre-drywall inspection, allowing you to see the house before the sheetrock is hung. Then, as the home nears completion, you'll have what many builders call the homebuilder orientation, more commonly called the final walkthrough, where the builder will show you how to work your home. Usually, they will allow you to point out any incomplete items or things that need to be repaired or replaced. The superintendent should have a punch list, and they're usually aware of the issues, but it never hurts to bring them up, as this will be your last chance to have things taken care of before you close. Because issues often occur within the first year, most builders offer a 1-year warranty, and many other items like appliances have their own manufacturer's warranty. I spent a lot of time in newly constructed homes, and I can tell you with certainty, there's no such thing as a perfect home. Because houses are built with natural products, and thanks to human error, sometimes things just won't line up. Walls warp, trim won't line up, caulking will sink, leaving small gaps, and the paint won't be perfect. I've seen it in brand new $1 million homes. It just is what it is, and you should be prepared that the builder will not agree to fix every little imperfection that you point out. Usually, the builder will either set up a meeting or allow you to walk through the home one last time to confirm everything on the punch list has been completed. They may even have you sign off. So in the last minute or so, I've touched on several major parts of the home build process. I know you have lots of questions. If you're seeking more knowledge, check out my in-depth look on how a house is built, the four-way walkthrough, and the home buyer orientation. Now you're ready to close on your home. For many, the process will take more than a year from the day that you wrote the contract. If you're building from scratch and everything goes smoothly, your home could be completed in about 9 months. But over the last year or so, we've had more delays than ever. A lot of people end up waiting 12 to 18 months for the home to be completed. As I mentioned earlier, you can't be mad at the builder because these delays are often out of their control. Once again, the builder will usually give you 30 to 45 days heads up on the closing date, and they will expect you to close on that date. Months before the closing, the lender will tell you approximately how much money you will need to bring to closing. In most situations, you'll head to a title company and sign the closing documents. It's unlikely that you'll receive keys to your brand new home at closing because it's not officially your home until it funds and records with the city. Once that happens, the builder's representative, usually the new home salesperson, will give you keys to your brand new home. If you're still trying to decide if you should build a home, you'll want to watch 10 reasons you need to build a home in 2022. I'll put links to all my recommended videos below. If you live in Utah and you're looking to build a home, I would love to answer your questions. Please feel free to call or text me anytime at the number below. If you have a home to sell first, I have successfully helped people navigate the stressful and confusing process. I would love to meet you, and I'm honored to serve you in any way that I can. For everyone else, please feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section below. I always do my best to respond to each one of you. If you have a friend or a family member looking to build a home, you can easily text this video to them. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button below and ring the bell to be notified each time I post new videos. Also, you can find me on Instagram at Ty the Real Estate Guy. If you found this information helpful, please give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to ring that little bell below. It'll make you feel good.